To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All you gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun say yeah?
Do you love horror movies? Well, then you've come to the right creepy corner. From slashers and monsters to cult classics and hilariously bad B movies, this channel dives into everything horror. So hit subscribe, keep the lights on, and let's talk horror. Today we're talking about the 1993 horror comedy cult classic Leprechaun, the film that combines Irish folklore, cheesy 90s horror, and bad decisions. Written and directed by Mark Jones. Before becoming one of the most bizarre horror franchises ever made, this little movie introduced audiences to the gold-obsessed, rhyming menace played by the legendary Warwick Davis. One of the biggest reasons this movie gets remembered today is because it stars Jennifer Aniston pre-nose job in one of her earliest roles. That's right, before Friends, she fought a murderous leprechaun in a farmhouse. Everyone has to start somewhere. The movie kicks off with a guy named O'Grady returning from his mother's funeral in Ireland with a bag of gold that he stole fair and square from a leprechaun. He makes it home, brags to his wife about being rich, and then hides the gold while she goes to make some tea. Naturally, the leprechaun has followed him home, and after hearing what sounds like a child's voice coming from inside his suitcase, like a typical woman, his wife decides to open up something she should not have opened, freeing the leprechaun from the suitcase. We then get the super lame death of Mrs. O'Grady as she stumbles backwards and falls down the steps to her death. Mr. O'Grady fires at the leprechaun, appearing to miss every shot. But the following scene opens with O'Grady picking up Leprechaun's limp body and nailing him in a crate in the basement. This level of excitement causes O'Grady to have a stroke, leaving the leprechaun trapped in a wooden box with a four-leaf clover on top. We jump forward 10 years to father and daughter played by John Sanderford and Jennifer Aniston, moving into the O'Grady house, and Francis from Pee-wee's Big Adventure accidentally freeing the tiny green agent of chaos. Whoopsie! The rest of the movie follows Jennifer Aniston, her father, and three guys that paint, trying to survive while Leprechaun hunts for his gold. The plot gets, you could say, creative. This movie plays by its own rules. And those rules are mostly, what would be the weirdest possible thing to happen next? From killing a coin collector with a pogo stick, to playing a twisted game of hide and seek with a local cop before breaking his neck, and even building a Mad Max death cart from spare parts found in a barn. The movie delivers plenty of bizarre hijinks. Now, what makes Leprechaun so memorable is its tone. It's not quite scary enough to be a straight-up horror movie. It's also not a full-bore comedy either. Instead, it lives in that magical early 90s space where horror movies were allowed to be weird, low budget, and slightly unhinged. And honestly, that's part of the charm. Let's talk about the star of the show and the main reason for the series' continued cult status, the leprechaun himself, Warwick Davis. He absolutely commits to his role, like he's auditioning for Shakespeare, except Shakespeare never wrote lines about pogo sticks being used as weapons. The character is basically a mixture of a fairy tale creature, a slasher villain, and that one relative who won't stop making rhymes and making everyone feel uncomfortable at family gatherings. He sings, he taunts, he murders people in extremely weird ways, has a shoe-shining compulsion, and he absolutely will not stop until he gets every single piece of his gold back. Honestly, if someone stole my life savings, I would be just as cranky. Despite mixed reviews when it came out, Leprechaun has become a cult favorite and launched one of the strangest horror franchises ever put to screen. Is Leprechaun a masterpiece? No. Is it weird, cheesy, occasionally ridiculous, and incredibly entertaining? Absolutely. It's the kind of movie that feels like it was discovered on a dusty rental store shelf next to Ghoulies and Critters. And honestly, that's the perfect place for it. If you love retro horror, goofy practical effects, and villains who speak entirely in rhyme, then The Leprechaun is definitely worth your time. Just remember one thing: if you find a pot of gold guarded by a tiny magical creature, maybe you should leave it alone. Because somewhere out there, a very angry leprechaun may be looking for it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this retro review, hit the like button, subscribe for more horror related content, and let me know in the comments, what's your favorite ridiculous horror movie in the 90s? And until next time, keep the lights on, because you never know when a rhyming leprechaun might come looking for his gold.